Alright kids, on number 74, I got x plus 4, x plus 1. 76, I got x minus 4, x minus 2. 78, all I got was a 3, then x squared minus 4x plus 5. 80, I got x plus 6, quantity squared. You can write that as x plus 6 times x plus 6 if you want. 82, I got negative 1. And then x squared minus 6x minus 14. You can't factor it any further. 84, I got x. And then x plus 10, x minus 2. 86, I got 3y. Then y minus 8 and y plus 2. 88, I got 3x minus 2 quantity squared. 90, 2 times the quantity 4x minus 1 and x plus 1. 92, some of you probably just have x squared minus 1 and x squared plus 1. It can go further to x minus 1, x plus 1, then x squared plus 1. The x squared plus 1 doesn't go further because it's not a difference. 94, I got x cubed plus 1 and x cubed plus 1. We learned sum of cubes, so that can go further to x plus 1 and then x squared minus 1x plus 1. And you would write that out twice because there's two x cubed plus 1s there. And so I just put it as all of it squared. 96, you should pull out an x to the 5th and you'd get x cubed minus 1. Some of you probably stop there, but you should do difference of cubes and get x to the 5th, then x minus 1, x squared plus x plus 1. 98, you factor and get 3x minus 4 quantity squared. On 100, you don't have to, but I did. I took out a negative 1, and so I got 16x squared minus 11x minus 5, and then I factored and did an area model. So I have negative 1, then x minus 1, then 16x plus 5. If you don't take a negative 1 out, then one of your parentheses is going to be the opposite in sign of mine. So, for example, your x minus 1, yours might be negative x plus 1 if you did not take out the negative. Or your 16x plus 5 would be negative 16x minus 5. On 102, I got 3y minus 1 and 3y plus 4. On 104, it works the same way. If you didn't take out a negative 2, you just took it out of 2. Yours will be opposite in sign on one set of parentheses. So I got negative 2, then 2x minus 1, 2x plus 1, and then x squared plus 2. All of those I did area models for. If you struggle with factoring, please come in and see me because it is key for today's homework or key for today's video. Number 6, I got x squared plus x minus 4 plus 5 over x plus 1. The work that I have shown there is synthetic, so if you did long division, please pay no attention to mine. Number 8, I got negative 4x squared plus 10x minus 21 plus 43 over x plus 2. Number 10, x cubed plus 2x squared plus 5x plus 10 plus 22 over x minus 2. 12, x to the 4th minus x cubed plus 6x squared minus 6x plus 6 plus negative 16 over x plus 1. 14, 0.1x minus 0.21 plus 0.241 over x plus 2.1. Number 16 doesn't have a remainder. It divided evenly. And you get x to the 4th minus x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 1. The homework is out of, I don't know how many. I'll tell you in class next time. Sorry. Alright, so here we go. The next part of the unit is applying your factoring skills. What we're going to be doing is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions that have x in them. So here, we're just going to simplify the fraction. Before, when you had 3 over 6, that was the same thing as 3 over 2 times 3. So your 3's would cancel, and you end up reducing to 1/2, because you would divide each part by 3. Well, that's what we're going to be doing today. So we have to factor everything. So we're going to factor the top, and we're going to factor the bottom. So if I give you the top, and I say factor, what would you get? Well, you would notice that they have a 3 in common, so you should get 3, then x plus 3. If I give you the bottom, x squared minus 9, and I say factor it, you would do an area model, or some of you might realize, hey, that's difference of squares, so you get x plus 3 and x minus 3. I put my division symbol, as we have our division bar, and here's where I get to simplify. If it's the same on top as it is on bottom, exact same factor, so that means what's in the parentheses is the exact same as what's in the parentheses on one of them in the bottom, you can cancel it out. So this x plus 3 and this x plus 3 can cancel. These 3's cannot, because this 3 has a subtraction symbol with it, and it has an x with it, so they are not the same. So you're left with 3 over x minus 3. And there is your simplified version of this original fraction. So see if you can factor the top. Y squared minus 25. Pause the video. You get y minus 5 and y plus 5. The reason I got that was by doing difference of squares. See if you can factor the bottom. 2y squared minus 8y minus 10. You should pull out 2 first. So y squared minus 4y minus 5. If you did not pull out a 2 first, you might not be able to simplify in the end. So make sure you're doing your greatest common factor. So what I'm going to do with my parentheses is an area model. And we have negative 5 and y squared. You should already have this on your paper because you should have tried it on your own. Factors of negative 5 are negative 5 and positive 1. That's what you should get there. And the bottom has 1 in common. The top y, the first column y, and the last column 5, negative 5. So you have 2, because that's what we pulled out first. We have our y minus 5, and we have y plus 1. So if we look at this fraction, what has the exact same on top as on bottom? You should say, does the y minus 5? Yay! Does the y plus 5? No. Does the 2? No. Does the y plus 1? No. So on top, you're left with y plus 5. You can put parentheses around it if you want. On bottom, you're left with 2, and then y plus 1. I am not going to distribute that 2 in. I'm going to leave it in factored form. See if you can do this one on your own. So I'm going to factor the top. The top greatest common factor is 3x. So you're left with 5x plus 8. The bottom does not factor. So if we look at this, you're going to say, that doesn't have anything in common. I can't cross anything out. That's a 3x and that's a 3x squared. However, what if I break this more apart? What if I write the 3x as 3 times x times the 5x plus 8? So all I've done is add the little multiplication symbol there. How would I break 3x squared? 3 times x times x. So now, do you have something that's the exact same on top as is on bottom? You should say the 3's and 1x on the bottom. You're still left with that x because it didn't have anything to match with it. So on top, you got 5x plus 8, and on bottom, you have x. And you're done. Now, some people are going to go, why can't I cross those x's out and just have 5 plus 8? Because this 5 is attached to the 8, or it's attached to the x, plus that 8 is attached to that x. So because you have that plus sign. If you ever have an operation of a subtraction or addition with an x, you're not going to be able to cancel out unless that same operation is being done down below. Whoa! We just went from 1 fraction to 2. Guess what you're going to do? Factor the top, factor the bottom. Factor the top, factor the bottom. Get busy. So the top factors to 3, then x plus 2. The bottom factors to 5 times x times x. The top is just x. The bottom is difference of squares, so x plus 2 and x minus 2. So, now you say, well, I don't have anything the same in this fraction and the same in this fraction. Well, when you multiply fractions, you're really multiplying the top all the way across and the bottom all the way across. So I'm going to make it one big fraction. And when I do that, now I can maybe see, oh, I have an x plus 2 and an x plus 2. I don't have any 3's. Do I have any x's? You betcha, right there. But I only can cross one out here. I don't have a match for him. So we got 3 on top, and on bottom we have 5x and x minus 2. And you're done. Go you. See if you can do this bad boy on your own. A lot of area models here. On the top, I'm going to get x minus 5 and x plus 2. On the bottom, I'm going to get x plus 7 and x minus 5. I got both of those by doing an area model. If you're struggling with factoring, please come in and see me. It's key to this unit. So multiplying by the top factors to x plus 7 and x minus 3. The bottom factors to x plus 7 and x plus 2. Now some of you could do those really quickly in your head. Some of you need the time to be able to pause the video and do the area model. So that's the benefit of watching a video as opposed to having it in class. So what we are going to do is we are going to make our division bar go all the way across. Now cross out. So on top we have x minus 5. Yay, I have one right there. Here we got x plus 2, and I have one right there. We have an x plus 7 and an x plus 7. It doesn't matter which one you cross out. On top, you got x minus 3, and on bottom, you got x plus 7. And you're done. Now those x's can't cancel because the top x is is connected to the negative 3, and the bottom x is connected to the plus 7. So you can't cancel those. And now you're going, lady, division, huge